Hi, I'm Abrielle, and this is Ella, and this is our counseling video, my counseling video 1. So Ella, it's great to have you here. First off, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are?
Sure. I'm a master's student right now at Palm Beach Atlantic University. I'm studying for counseling and mental health. Um, I love counseling. It's one of my favorite things. I love reading about it.
So what do you like about counseling?
I like being able to help people and like using evidence-based treatments to help people.
Um, that's really awesome that you love to help people. I know that's sometimes a gift for some people. So what are some things in the past that you've done that you've been able to help people with?
Well, I've done a lot of work with children with autism, and that's like the thing that I like the most. Um, I've been a counselor for children with autism and ADHD. Um, I've also worked in home-based therapy for children that have autism, and I've done a study for children that have ADHD, which was a lot of fun too.
Wow, you have a lot of experience in a lot of awesome areas. What drew you to children with autism?
First, it was just a friend told me like, "Oh, you want to try this out? Try the counseling." It was a summer treatment program. I thought it would be so much fun. You know, it sounded like a lot of fun. So I did. I went and I loved it. I love working with them. I love seeing their progress. You know, I love seeing what they can do because all the people think they can't do certain things because of their disabilities, but they can do many other things when you help them.
Now, it seems like you find like a lot of joy and fulfillment in this. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
That's awesome. Do you see yourself continuing this in the future, or do you expect to go down a different route, or what are you thinking for the future?
For the future, yeah, I see myself continuing this. My main thing that I want to do is help families that have a child with any disability, not just autism. Just help them cope with having a child with a certain disability because it's hard sometimes for them. You know, the feelings of guilt or it's just tough having a kid who has those disabilities. So I would like to continue doing that, doing counseling for them, and also working with the children as well.
Yeah, you seem to really have like a burden for helping families cope. Was this anything that like came from like a family experience of your own, or is this just something that like you kind of just grew to enjoy doing, or like had that all kind of start with like the idea of helping families cope with all of this?
I've always loved children. I feel like I have such a deep place in my heart for them. I want to make anything possible to advocate for them and to help them be the best they can be. Any type of children.
That's awesome. Um, like, what are just some things I think that you like just gain from advocating for children?
What I gain. Well, I gain a sense of pride. That's always good. I gain a sense of hope. Um, just because a lot of people take advantage of kids that have certain disabilities or they they treat them differently. I feel like I can do something um, for them to be normalized. You know, that way they can go back into regular classrooms and people won't treat them like any less just because of the disability they have.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. That's so cool that you have such a heart for this. So besides working with kids, autism and ADHD and all these really cool things, like what are some other like strengths and talents that you have?
Strengths.
They can be like work related, you know, in this field, or something totally different.
I think I'm good at like focusing when I read. Like I can read for long periods of time, especially when it comes to like counseling stuff. Like that really interests me, so I can read it for a long time and articles and just like making like how do you say it? Like comments on them and just understanding.
Yeah. So you're a really good like interactive learner. And did you enjoy like reading a lot when you were in undergrad?
Not really, because it was stuff that I usually wasn't interested in.
Right.
So I usually found my own like books that I like to read,
Mm-hmm.
like psychology books. But undergrad is sometimes stuff that you're not really interested in, like history and things like that. But
Wow. So far being in school, again, how has that been? Has it been like a benefit and like a blessing, or have you found any challenges when you're trying to focus on learning, or has it just really benefited you?
so far it's been good. I think I think the load is good because it's just 2 classes, so it's not that bad. But yeah, so far it's been really good.
That's
I like
awesome.
It. I enjoy it a lot.
Great. When it comes to like, I don't know, like working with people, like what are some strengths that you have? Like when you're working with like your kids or like these families that you eventually want to work with, what are some things that you have already noticed that are like strengths when you're interacting with these families or with these kids?
Patience, I think that's one of the main ones. I think warmth, being able to have empathy for them, and just having like supervisors have taught me the skills that I need to work with them. So it's actually that what you're doing is working.
Yeah. Do you feel really rewarded? Like, do you feel full, like even after talking with families, even though it might be like a sensitive subject? Like, how do you usually feel after about that?
I feel good. Sometimes it can be exhausting at the same time, just because when you're dealing with kids, it takes a lot of energy. So at the end of the day, you can be really exhausted. But I feel like I have like the energy to put into it, and then be able to like have my own life aside from that, and not just take over completely, because it can be something that you can just be worried about all the time, because you never know how they're going to do on their own. But
yeah, that's great. Now, when you talk about like your life on your own, what are some things that like you enjoy doing, or like maybe some hidden talents that are just completely opposite of what you do for a profession? Like what are some of those things?
I don't have any hidden talents.
No juggling acts, no like fire.
I wish I could juggle or something.
I know, me too. You never know.
Yeah, that would be nice. But no hidden talents. Just on my free time, I like working out. That's the main thing that I like to do. I started eating vegan recently.
Is that challenging?
Yeah, it is hard. It takes up a lot of time. Like,
a lot of planning, right?
Yeah, a lot of planning to eat like that. But on the weekends, I don't eat vegan. So it's okay. I can have like a little something on the weekends. But yeah, that working out, going out with my friends. That's what I enjoy the most. I think the thing that I enjoy the most is just being sociable and just hanging out with people.
Right.
That brings a lot of joy to me.
Yeah. No, when you hang out with people, do you enjoy like bigger groups or like more one-on-one, or what do you prefer?
I have no preference for that. I think it's both the same for me. Yeah, I try to get like one-on-one time, even if I'm in a big group. I try to just make an effort to talk to everybody and just like to see how they're doing and whatever, because it's hard when there's a lot of people sometimes, but you're just trying to make an effort to communicate with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. What about, like, you were talking about working out, like what do you enjoy like doing for your workout? Like, is there anything that you're just like, oh, I can't wait to do this, or is there something like that you just really prefer when you work out, or just like whatever? What do you like to do?
I like running. I do everything. I walk, I run, do the elliptical, I do weights. I like weights a lot. That's something new, because I've always like ran, and I used to be in the cross country team here at PBA. But weights is something new that I started doing in the past few months, and you feel good because you feel strong.
Yeah.
So it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Do you feel a lot better after you run and
Yes.
stuff too? I know, like for me, sometimes if I just have like so much going on in my brain, I'm just like, I just need to run and move and do stuff. But so do you see it as kind of like a way to kind of like re-energize yourself and like replenish yourself when you work out?
Yeah, it's like meditation time.
That's
you can
great.
just zone out and not think about anything else. And it's nice.
Except for don't tripping.
Don't trip on the treadmill.
It's always
that's scary.
ellipticals, a little dangerous. I've gotten my foot cut a couple times, so That's great. Like on a day-to-day basis, like what do you see as like your gifts and talents that really kind of just like illuminate, throughout, like when it's getting up in the morning to like going to bed at night? What are some things that you um, just like are constantly good at doing or thinking or like acting out? What are some of those things?
I think I have a very positive outlook on life. Um, I think whenever I feel like a little bit down, I can pick myself up really quick. Like when something's making me anxious or depressed, I can pick myself up really quick. Um, I love like reading inspirational things, whether it's like the Bible or another book that like inspires me, um, and that always makes me feel like better. And I feel like I never go through like really dark times. I tend to just pick myself up like fast.
Yeah. Do you feel like with picking yourself up fast, like has that helped a lot with your line of work so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if at the start you feel very overwhelmed because you don't know if, like you're doing the right thing. I think everybody feels that way. Like you don't know if you're doing the right thing or if like you're actually helping them and not like just hurting them. But then you realize, no, I am helping them.
Right. Yeah. Are you ever able to like share? Because you said you enjoy like reading inspirational like quotes or the Bible. Are you ever able to share any of those things that you learn with your clients and the people that you interact with, or how does that work?
It depends on the client, because for my company, I can't talk about like religious things. But my last client I had, she was Christian, and she used to sing worship all the time, and it was the cutest thing.
That's
so
awesome.
we would talk like about Jesus like all the time. Oh my gosh, it's so she was so cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Aw. So have you had a lot of like fun and like fulfilling interactions with a lot of people in your line of work? Has it been just like, I'm sure it's been a really interesting journey for you, right?
But yeah, it's so even if like you don't get like that connection with them, like the Christian connection, like oh we're both like we both love Jesus. You have like other connections with them, like just having fun with them and playing around and being silly. It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure your clients appreciate that, like just being normal and fun and breaking the ice. Is there anything like in particular that you do that you've like kind of learned to do with certain kids or families that like is kind of like your signature thing, or does it kind of just depend on the family? Or
I'm like a kid when I'm with them. That's what I do because I think that's the best thing you can do when you're like working with children.
Yeah.
You just have to be like a kid. Bring out your inner child and just be like a little kid again,
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. And just be like close to them. And a lot of times kids with autism tend to isolate themselves. So you just have to be right there trying to like get their attention and trying them to get them to do like things with you, like whatever they're playing, you have to be there. Like if they're coloring, just hand them the crayon or whatever it is that they're doing.
That's great. Man, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, and you were awesome.